5. This is angles and parallel lines. I'm showing question 1 and question 2 and question 3 there. Let's see what we can do. Right, work out, let's work in red, work out the values of x, y and z. Well, parallel lines shown by the arrows there show that if I cut it across like so, then the 135 is related to the x. In fact, x is 135 degrees. The reason being it is an alternate angle. I'll write it for you. I like to think of it as being on the alternative side of the line which you cut the parallel lines through. Again, exactly the same thing. Parallel lines, cut them through, and on the other side, there you go, we have the alternate angle again, and therefore that's going to be 52 degrees, like the 52 degrees shown. Exactly the same again, cut on the other side of the line, we have 140 degrees. It's an alternate angle. This next part is question 2. Parallel lines, cut them through with a knife, and look, the 110 and the P are in the same position on the same side of the line. Therefore, this is going to be 110 degrees as well, and that's called a corresponding angle. Exactly the same with the 95 and Q. Parallel lines, cut it with a knife, so Q is also going to be 95 degrees. Again, corresponding angle. This one's more complicated. Loads of ways of doing this question actually. So R, what's that going to be? We're on a straight line there, so we know R is going to be 80 degrees, and the reason being angles on a straight line add up to 180 degrees. But if R is 80, we've also proven that 80 there shown and the R calculated as 80 also corresponding angles. So how do you do S? Well, I can say I'm on a straight line, I can say 180 take away 80 is 100, or I can say look, corresponding angle with the 100 shown, so therefore S is going to be 100 degrees corresponding to the 100 degree C 100 degree angle shown. Right, and that's the way just to prove it. Right, work out the values of x, y, z and give your raisins. Okay, very good. Let's just do the easy one first. Well, parallel lines cut across, that's an alternate angle. And for that reason, it's going to be equal to 83 degrees. Let's go back to this one. Two ways of doing this one. If that is 75 there, then that's going to be on a straight line 105 degrees, because I took it away from 180, and 105 degrees is corresponding to the angle x shown, therefore angle x is 105 degrees. You can also say something like the 75 and the x are, get ready, allied angles. So I'm going to write that in yellow down here quite big. I think I spelled it correctly. Allied, yeah. They're called allied or interior angles. I never use the word interior, but the word allied. These are allied angles. Alright, so 75 and x are allied angles. Okay, so that's good. Please note they both add up to 180 as well together. What's this one over here? Yep, same sort of thing really. Well, parallel lines, cut it across, 38 plus the z will be allied. So that's a mark for allied. Go back to yellow. How do we work out z? We go 180 degrees, take away the 38 degrees, and that will give us the leftovers for z degrees. So 38 from 80 is going to be 40 something, 42, 142 degrees, and that's what z is. Alright, turn over the page, see what we've got. Alright, more parallel lines, and I believe this is question 4. Alright, same sort of thing. Work out the values of the angles marked with letters. Okay, then we'll try, and give me a reason. Okay, so straight away 72 degrees, y alternate. What about B? Well, I can say it's vertically opposite to angle A, but let's use the 72 given to us. B is also 72. Reason, it is corresponding to the 72 degree given. Alright, that's that. I've got to work out C first because that's the order. Well, here we go. That's going to be 115 degrees. Why? Look, corresponding to the 115 given. After C comes D. What's that going to be? It's going to be 180, take away the 115, and that's going to give us 65 degrees. Why? Angles on a straight line and up to 165 degrees. And the E is vertically opposite the 115, so it's going to be 115 itself, and that is vertically opposite angles. So those two angles are vertically opposite from each other. Now what about the next one? Plenty going on here. I won't have space to do all that. Right, A, B, C, D, E, F. Oh, okay, F next. Okay, F and 88. So F is 88, corresponding angle. What's G going to be? That's also 88 because it is vertically opposite to angle F. G, H. Right, how do you do H? Parallel line, one line cutting through the 120 and making an H with it as well. So H is going to be 60 degrees because it is an allied angle with 120. So that was essentially 180, take away 120, leaving me 60. And angle I is therefore also going to be 60 because it is vertically opposite to angle H shown, which was proven to be 60 degrees. Right. Are lines, this is the next question here, question 5 actually, are the lines AB and CD parallel? Answer, yes they are, because the 217 degree angles shown are corresponding to each other. So basically yes, corresponding angles. So yes, 117 degrees are corresponding angles. Next one, are lines EF and GH parallel? And give me a reason for that. Well, if they're parallel, then they should be allied. In other words, they should add up to 180. Let's try it. 83 plus 97. Grab your calculator. 3 plus that is 180. 180 degrees, therefore parallel. Alright? They're allied angles. So 90 plus 80, what do we got there? 170 plus the 10, 180. Yep, they're parallel because they're allied angles and they're up to 180 degrees. Beautiful. Lovely. Okay, what's next? Oh my goodness, what a pain. Right, this is the last bit on 2.3 and I may not have time. I might have to edit the video if it goes too far, but anyway, I'm not going to give my reasons. It says calculate the size of the angles marked with letters. Great, I'm not going to give a reason, I'm just going to do it. Right, here we go, opposite each other. 105, vertically opposite. 105 degrees. Right, what have I got here? 68 degrees for the B, because it's alternate. And angle C, 180 take away 68. Just write it in case I forget. And I'm left with 112 degrees for C. Right, I'll come back to you in a minute. That's 95. So let's just play around a little bit. That's going to be 95 right there. So I reckon playing with corresponding angles, S is 95. And Q is going to be 195 take away. Q is going to be 180 take away the 95, which leaves me with 85 degrees for Q. If Q is 85, then so is R, because they're alternate angles. Now what about this animal here? Loads of ways of doing that. Okay, if that's 95, right here, beneath it on a straight line, I've got 85 degrees, and therefore P is going to be 85 degrees because it's corresponding to the 85 I've just calculated. And thankfully I don't have to give my reasons. Now D, very tricky unless you're aware of what's going on. If that's 63 and all these lines are parallel as shown, then this part is also 63 degrees because it's alternate. If all these lines are parallel as shown, then this part must also be 74 degrees because it's alternate to the 74 shown. So therefore D is simply a combination of 63 degrees plus the 74 degrees, and that makes angle D in its entirety 137 degrees. Alright, so that's quite a good application, and hopefully I've got time for some of this next one here. It's a real pain, haven't really got space to write it all. Anyway, right, X, Y, W. Alright, here we go. If that's 45, then that is 45, vertically opposite. If that's 45 and we're on a straight line, W is going to be 135 degrees, taken away from 180. Right, then what have I got here? Blah de blah de blah. This is going to get really complicated. What a mess that is. Can I do anything with that? Let's try and go for Z. Just going to pause and think a bit because I'm getting tired. Okay, this is incredibly easy. It's just that it's so small down here. I missed the fact that that angle right there is also 55 degrees because it's vertically opposite the 55 shown. What's the problem with that? Nothing at all. But because we have parallel lines going across as shown, then Z is also 55 degrees because it is corresponding to the 55 there I'm trying to show in the corner. See? That bit is 55. Therefore that bit is also 55. Okay, I missed it before. Now what about this angle Y? Do we have some tricky missing ingredient here? Yes, there it is. Here we have two parallel lines, and I've cut it across with this knife. So therefore Y is in fact the same as 142. It's a corresponding angle. So Y is 142 degrees. I think that's it for now, and I will stop that video.